will start when others start. I will start when others start. I will start when others start. I will start when others start. To start. This is what will happen. A reference to an artwork will be made. A description of the space it was sited in will be provided. An allusion to the relationship that space has with this space will emerge. A story of the artwork will be told, its making, specifics, details. Allowance for frequent meanders, asides and tangents along the way will be appreciated. Meaning will be interpreted freely. An end will be in sight, and a return to business as usual will occur. All right. So, it was a personal first. An artwork for public view. To be taken seriously on a professional level, it must be mentioned that this artwork was for a very select audience. It was a piece privately commissioned for a space that embodied a kind of cultural, consumerist exclusivity. These types of spaces can be found duplicated all across the country. Some are in the industrial outskirts, surrounded by regional or suburban landscape. Others in the main thoroughfare. Others in purpose-built, clean lines, modern glass exterior. Others in buildings with history. All of these adapt the architecture to showcase creative produce of sorts. Every year, a new season, a new crop to showcase. This particular space, for this particular artwork, was in its day a flagship for an iconic classic design, a must-have mode of transport. What's important here, present company included, is bums on seats. Moving seats, that is, on wheels. It was a showroom. Exhibiting ranges of vehicles, of which the manufacturer promised consummate reliability coupled with seduction. A range of vehicles ranging from C, E, G and S-class, promising a way of living. Its mission, bold, stated, start where others stop. The most desirable being S-class. Any colour the heart desired, metallic finish extra, prices ranging from 20 to 80. Grand job. What about this beautiful spiral staircase? observe how simply and elegantly it breaks up the space. The select use of material with a mirrored surface space downstairs, drawing the customer into what appears to be an infinitely large room flanked by generous offices on the right-hand side. This is to optically confuse the visual senses. In its prime, the spiral staircase acted as an architectural bridge to invite the more exclusive customer upstairs to view the more exclusive line. An architectural bridge that alluded to a person's particular status or position, powerful or otherwise. Yeah, I'm interested in this little model. It was at the time when the normal tiers of society began buckling, and it wasn't as easy to predict who had and who had not. The typical clientele was no longer a man in his 40s, suited and booted in shimmer and sheen, slight suspicious sheen to the forehead, mobile phone in hand. Maybe not a mobile phone in hand. Mobile phones were bigger then, or were they smaller? First they were big, then small. Then they were bigger again, but thinner and able to do more. I mean, isn't she really something? Yes. But is she safe? Practical? Reliable? Efficient? Practical? Good question to base a decision on. They don't make them like this anymore. She runs like a dream. See how the edge of each step has been lightly worn to suggest sets of legs on the balls of their feet, arms deliberately shimmying up and down by the waistband, shirt tucked into suit slacks, slight overhang of white shirt around the belt. On a hot day, a little moist under the arms, but no odour. The aroma of aftershave, still fresh from the morning. An easy jog up and down, displaying a true confidence, agile fitness, as well as an innate busyness. Hustling up and down, no time to stop. I'm in the middle of this thing, and that thing will have to wait. I'm busy, very, very busy. In this line of business, the perception of busyness is everything. You have to be seen, and in the know, and knowing, and actively active. Your busyness is not more important than my busyness. The practicalities of making art and car dealing, are there similarities? In terms of utilising the tricks of the trade, or the veneer of a vocation, or the precision of a profession, a fudging of all of the above tends tends to occur. Describing the type of artwork for the showroom. It was a collaborative piece, in the sense that there was more than one person actually physically in the room when it was being made. Some call it a mural, but a drawn wall painting has a nicer ring to it. Taking part in this collaboration did have its incentives. There was a target for being one of the collaborators in this piece. Helping out for a week would allow a full 3 months on the more exotic West Coast. However, it would require the dreariness of physical performance. A kind of endurance, so to speak. A sort of understated performance, kneeling for long periods of time. Viewed by passers-by, surrounded by paint pots and an assortment of paintbrushes. Not only tiresome, but embarrassing. In the period of about 8 years preceding this, there was a general air of embarrassment all day long. All was bored or embarrassed. Oh, the awkwardness of subject, the awkwardness of the body and movement, and the messy complexity of the body and other bodies. Not the objectivity of material or substance, or the nicely detached distance of substance and metaphor. On balance, it would be fair to say that the collaboration was rather one-sided, as in one person did all of the work. The idea is personal. The cookiness of the concept is still evident even now. Method: spray can and stencil. The unique method employed hinged on getting the formula for the exact thickness of acetate. The stencils were drawn by hand, and then they were cut out of the acetate using a red Stanley knife on the large kitchen table. Into the small hours of the morning, way after the other people had gone to bed. Some nicks, some cuts, both hands, 4 fingers and thumbs. No health and safety in operation here. Often resulting in spray paint residing, blue-coloured mostly, in the base of the nostrils, long after everyone had gone to bed. But in the small hours of the morning, when the work was complete, maybe because of all the fumes from the spray paint, look where the imagination brought you. Rome, in bygone days presumably, when statues were 10 a penny, and they could be neatly customized into advertising billboards. A million miles away from the domestic dutifulness of tending to an all-male majority household, that's for sure. The basis of a rich gender debate. For another day, perhaps. The smaller part of the collaboration was specific. Typical of contemporary practice, its aim was to disarm and reveal the optical perception. You are looking at a bunch of grapes being eaten, by a representation of a bunch of grapes. Now look here, viewers. The marble you see here surrounding the skirting is in fact not marble. It is an illusion created after long nights of working on a technique. Kneeling by the skirting board, the oil paint was diluted into a slick liquid to be applied thinly, allowing it to be glided in all directions. Then a smaller, thinner brush painted black veins onto the smudged surface and completed the optical deception. First glance, they do seem like similar models, but there is a difference. One displays the symbol on the nape of the neck, while the other, like a true Olympian, displays it high above the head with strength and ease. Although if you look closely, a cunning, resourceful reusing of the stencil, the first stencil, may be revealed. Do you notice anything about the feet and the legs, namely what connects them? Literally, 2 left feet. These Olympians duplicate each other in gesture, gait, and pose. Although, of course, there are some slight differences when scrutinized. 2 left feet competing in races where circles move ever decreasingly. This is an apt time to take a breath. Pause, reflect, summarize, bearings intact, wits in order, meaning construed, marking the end of our mini prelude. Cross-country, sprint, relay, relay, and relay. I will stop stop